Hello and welcome. You're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Gargi Rawat. Today, the distressing news that 12 people died in a Delhi hospital due to oxygen running out. There was a doctor also among the patients who died, and the Batra hospital where this took place has said they're closely monitoring other patients. Even though they had put out distress calls earlier, the hospital ran out of oxygen for a crucial 80 minutes. What's more shocking is that this has happened over 11 days into the oxygen crisis in Delhi, which has still not been resolved. Today, the Delhi High Court told the centre enough is enough. Water has gone above the head. Provide Delhi with oxygen.
We have just run out of oxygen. We are currently surviving on some oxygen cylinders. Over the next 10 minutes, that will also run out.
Due to non-availability of oxygen, तो हमारी मासी जी एक्सपायर कर गए.
कोई पेशेंट अच्छा हो सकता है और पेशेंट इसलिए ठीक नहीं हो रहा कि उसके पास ऑक्सीजन नहीं.
Ajit Bhatia lost his 64-year-old aunt, Kawaljit Kaur Bhatia, who was on a ventilator at Delhi's Batra hospital. She was among the 12 patients who lost their lives due to oxygen shortage.
और लोगों के पेशेंट के जो अटेंडेंट थे वो भाग रहे थे सिलेंडर लेके और यहाँ से गार्ड को और ऊपर दे रहे थे ताकि उनको ऑक्सीजन लग सके उनके पेशेंट्स को.
Batra Hospital's own Dr. R.K. Himthani, the head of the gastroenterology department, died because the hospital ran out of oxygen. His shocked colleagues paid tribute.
सरकार को भी निर्णय लेना चाहिए ना कि अब या तो अस्पताल बंद करें, एडमिशन बंद करें, कुछ ना कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. उन बेचारे मरीजों का क्या फॉल्ट था, मुझे ये बताएं.
One of our senior gastroenterologists, the head of the department, Dr. R.K. Himthani, who sadly lost his battle to COVID, the ripple effect of not having oxygen for a prolonged period of 1 hour 20 minutes, we may have a much higher death rate compared to the average.
Aam Aadmi Party leader Raghav Chadha tweeted that an oxygen tanker was reaching in 5 minutes. But that was too late. This is the second time in a week that Batra Hospital has run out of medical oxygen. On April 24th, the hospital received a last-minute supply that arrived minutes after its oxygen reserves ran out. Last week, 25 people at the city's Jaipur Golden Hospital died due to shortage of medical oxygen. In the 11th straight day of hearings in the city's oxygen crisis, the Delhi High Court put the onus on the central government. Water has gone above the head. You have to arrange everything now. You have made the allocations. You have to fulfill it. Lives have been lost. We can't shut our eyes to it. The court pointed out that though the centre had allocated Delhi 490 metric tons of medical oxygen in the last 10 days, the capital received less than this. The Delhi government says it needs 976 tons.
कि दिल्ली की 976 टन पर डे की रिक्वायरमेंट है. उस 976 के अगेंस्ट में हमें 490 टन ऑक्सीजन अलॉट की गई है दिल्ली. वो 490 भी नहीं मिल रही है. कल केवल 312 टन आई है.
Patients died in the heart of India's capital because their oxygen supply finished, a man-made failure. If this is the case in a place where the resource-rich governments of India and Delhi sit, what can be the situation in UP and Bihar where the pandemic is still gathering momentum? In New Delhi with camera person Sanjay Kaushik, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.
AIIMS Director Dr. Guleria said he was absolutely shocked by the news and that he knew Dr. Himthani, who died, very well.
It's very, very unfortunate that this has happened, and I really, my heart really goes out to all those people who unfortunately lost their lives, not because of COVID, because of lack of oxygen. And one of the doctors who lost his life, Dr. Himthani, I know him very well since my student days, and therefore it's some sort of a personal loss to lose someone whom you have known for so long as a gastroenterologist. But I think this drives home the point that we need to be very aggressive, because healthcare workers, the health infrastructure is really stretched to the limit, and therefore we need to have a comprehensive plan. When it's oxygen delivery, there has to be a central command center which is able to really look at how things are. There should be enough backup available so that it can be given with enough storage that the hospital has, so that even if a truck which has to reach there, if it has, for some reason if it has a breakdown, you still have enough oxygen to be able to sort of factor in for that. Or some sort of an emergency backup should be available in the capital, where if there is such a shortage, then a backup can be sent there to really support it. So a strategy needs to be developed so that that can be done. But I also feel that, the most important thing to understand is that why is this happening? This is happening because the number of cases are continuing to increase, and that is being done at an unexpected level. And we have to work aggressively to bring down the number of cases. No health care system will be able to really match this. So therefore, the issue of having an aggressive containment, you could call it a lockdown in an area, but if you have if your case positivity is so high as it is in Delhi, very aggressive containment has to be done to decrease the number of cases. Otherwise, no hospital system will be able to manage.
Well, to talk more about this continuing crisis in the national capital, we're now joined by Dr. Shamsher Dwivedi, Head COVID Task Force, Vimans Hospital. Also joining us is Dr. Sameer Gupta, Director, Cardiac Cath Lab, Metro Group of Hospitals. Thank you so much, doctors, for joining us, and we'll have more joining us soon. But Dr. Shamsher Dwivedi, it's really ridiculous and so tragic that 11 days into this crisis, even more I would imagine, but it's 11 days since the High Court has been hearing this. Even now, hospitals are struggling in this manner that we've lost 12 patients today, including a doctor, because of lack of oxygen.
So yes, and let me tell you, many of the stories perhaps have got unnoticed because it was not brought to public, but each hospital has faced, if I tell you clearly, I am talking to my friends in different hospitals. Each hospital has such stories to narrate. But today, fortunately, this story came into public, and we now understand what is the magnitude of the crisis. I don't blame anybody for it, but I would definitely say that, as Dr. Guleria was saying, and in my last discussion with NDTV, I have said that there has to be a centralized command center. We understand the numbers are huge, but if there is a centralized command center, and leave it, whether it is center, whether it is state, whether it is army, it doesn't matter, whether it is National Disaster Committee, somebody has to take the onus, and there has to be a centralized telephone number on which public as well as doctor can call, and there should be a call center which will direct you to the right person, because you are chaotically fending for things. And most of the black marketing that we are seeing, whether it is remdesivir, whether it is steroid, that also is happening. Now they are trying to streamline it. But I think it could have been done little earlier, but everybody was taken aback by the magnitude. But the lesson that we draw is that in future, if we have to react in a more organized, more effective manner, we need to know that the moment there is a crisis, this is the system which will start working. We are still evolving. 11 days into the crisis, we are still evolving. We don't know exactly who is doing what.
Absolutely. And this blame game that's going on, you know, every day we're reporting on the High Court hearing and center saying this, the Delhi government is saying that. But right now it's an emergency situation. People are dying, those who can't get into hospital on time, who can't breathe. You know, we're hearing so many stories of people dying, not being able to access hospital beds. But now those in hospital also dying due to lack of oxygen. Dr. Gupta, if you could share with us, you know, what's it been like for you?
Gargi, it's been absolutely chaotic. Like Dr. Dwivedi is saying, we run hospitals in Delhi NCR, we have a hospital in Umkal Hospital in Gurgaon. Oxygen has been an absolute struggle. Every day it is like, where are we going to get oxygen from? And you know, and truth be told, if you asked me 1 month ago that, Dr. Gupta, what is the situation of oxygen? I would have said, really? Is there a problem in oxygen? We had no idea that this is there. This is actually can be a problem. And I agree with what he's saying. There needs to be a central task force. Now, you know, if you see the government, what they've done with the armed forces, you know, there is the army, there's the navy, and then there is the air force. And on top of that is this one person who commands everything, who says, you go here, you go here. We need something exactly similar, because this is disaster, right? I mean, if you see the numbers, probably more people have died with COVID than they have died in all the battles of India. I mean, the numbers are huge. They're huge. We need to be on war footing. We need to be together. We need to fight this pandemic together. You know, right now, Gargi, all the healthcare workers in this country, especially Delhi NCR, where this is currently at its peak. I don't know if the peak has come yet, but it's extremely high. They're extremely stressed. They're working 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day. They're getting inundated with phone calls. We are getting inundated with phone calls. It's just madness, right? We want to concentrate on treating your patient.
Right.
At the end of the day, for any doctor, his patient is gone, right? You want to focus on the patient, not focus on, oh my God, this medicine is being black marketed. Oh my God, oxygen is finishing. Who's going to care for the patient?
It's absolutely untenable. We cannot have this situation. Every day we at NDTV deal with these SOS calls. We get messages, you know, oxygen is running out, 1 hour is left, half an hour is left, 10 minutes is left. It's just absolutely untenable. And like you said right now, you need to focus on the crisis. All of you. We also have Sandra Sebastian with us, anesthesiology resident. Sandra, if you could, you know, share with us what the situation has been. And we're just talking about how it's just shocking that 11 days into this crisis, it still doesn't seem that there's a solution. We don't have a command center. This is an emergency situation right now.
Hi. As of now, I work in a central government hospital in Delhi. As of now, we haven't faced oxygen shortages, but obviously we know the rest of Delhi is facing oxygen shortages. And if you ask me about the rest of the situation, it is truly chaotic. We are getting a lot of patients. See, the number of beds we have is limited. So we have had to refuse a lot of patients. We hear stories from patients that these patients have been taking their relative, their sick relative, to 5 hospitals, and they come to our hospital. Like, our hospital is the 6th hospital. So I know it's super chaotic.
Right, we need some sort of number, central command, not just for the patients, but for the hospitals. We're joined by Dr. Sudhanshu Bankata, Executive Director of Batra Hospital. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. And it's absolutely distressing what has happened today at Batra Hospital. If you can tell us, what is the situation like now?
Well, right now we have enough oxygen to last us till about 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. tomorrow. Now the struggle again starts because we really don't know when we are getting the next supply. So tomorrow morning, yet again, we will send our officials down to Inox and to Goel plant. And we will also have to lodge SOS early in the morning with the Delhi government sites, the various WhatsApp group that they have put up, so that we receive our oxygen on time and we can support our patients tomorrow. We do not have a repeat of the situation that happened today.
Right, and this morning as well, you put out an SOS and you said our oxygen is running out, and even then, that 80 crucial minutes, you ran out of oxygen, and I can't imagine what all of you went through dealing with that situation.
It's been a harrowing experience all these 9 days of late, and we've just been hanging in there by a thin thread. It's been an hour-to-hour survival. We've just been trying to cut down on our oxygen supply, but we cannot really turn off the oxygen on the patients who are surviving on that. And then when we run out of the oxygen and we are asking the government for that, there is nobody else that we can turn to. Actually, I was in court proceedings over there at that point in time, and the Honorable High Court, at that moment itself, the moment I raised the alert, the Honorable High Court took a view on this, and they asked the Delhi government to help us out immediately. Even then, because the tanker was somewhere in Burari, I suppose, it took about 20 minutes for the tanker to come to us, and by that time we were out of oxygen.
This is absolutely untenable, as I've been saying. Dr. Dhamija, if you could come in here. It's been 11 days. Why no central command? Why are hospitals having to, day to day have this anxiety about running out of oxygen? Many of them talk about how they're reaching out, and I know nobody wants to blame anyone, but really, why aren't the authorities doing more?
Gargi, thank you for having me in the show. These are difficult times, challenging times for all of us, and we are all aware that there's shortage of oxygen and other things in many Delhi hospitals. But I want to bring into 2 issues. One is a short-term crisis and one is a long-term in coming next 2 weeks. So given the numbers, around 400,000 or 4 lakhs every day, new cases coming up, so the numbers will be adding up every day. So we need to contain these numbers. We need to mitigate this pandemic magnitude. So unless we do this, we cannot overcome the crisis in longer term also. So there are both the things we have to go together. We have to look for the sick patients and do everything possible to save the lives. At the same time, we need to decrease the numbers as well as the time goes, and we need to, overcome the virus, not chase the virus, and we need to be ahead of the virus.
And by that, are you suggesting a lockdown or something that we just now, it's really, as the High Court said, water has gone above the head?
I think the stay at home is the best thing to do. I can't advise anyone to, the policy makers, they have the many stakeholders, but from my point of view, stay at home is the best answer to all of us, to all the citizens, all the people, for their own safety and for the safety of their loved ones in the society.
Right, Dr. Sudhanshu?
Yes. Yeah, the gentleman who's answering, I'm really not aware whosoever is answering.
Dr. Dhamija, yes.
Yeah,
From Lady
the
Hardinge
problem
College.
the hospitals are facing right now. We're talking about 2 weeks. I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the next 2 hours for so many hospitals. We are continuously running out of oxygen. The solution does not lie in people staying inside the house. They have to eventually come to the hospital. What happens 2 hours from now? There will be another hospital that faces the same crisis. We have to provide oxygen to all the hospitals. There is no other choice. The pandemic will take its own course. It will burn out eventually. But how many lives will burn out along with the pandemic as we wait for the oxygen supply? This is not something that we need to plan out on a long-term basis. Right now, it's immediate. The enemy is not just at the doorstep. It's right inside our houses. It's right inside.
Right,
Gargi,
Dr. Dhamija, yes, you wanted
yes.
to just clarify
So,
that, yes.
Yes. So what I mentioned earlier was there is a short-term problem and a long-term problem. So we have to save the lives. It is not that we are not aware that the oxygen shortage is not there, the Delhi government hospitals or the Delhi hospitals are not having it. We have to address that issue. I said that. And not only that, we cannot take that call unless we also take care of the pandemic's magnitude and growing numbers. So both go hand in hand. Obviously, priority is now to save lives as well.
Right, but why isn't more being done? It's been 11 days now. Why isn't the Delhi government, the central government, why aren't they coming together and just, some sort of central command? As Dr. Shamsher Dwivedi said there, he's been saying this for several days. Many of you have been saying this for several days. You cannot have hospitals running like this every day and, dreading that they're going to be running out of oxygen. Yes, Dr. Gupta, you wanted to come in?
Gargi, I just want to make one point. There's a lot to learn, that we have a lot to learn from the pandemics across the world. Now, when you see what happened in New York, right? I lived over there, I trained over there, I have friends there. And what happened in New York was when New York exploded exactly a year ago, the hospitals said we are going to be exclusively COVID or majority COVID, and all the surrounding hospitals of the surrounding states and from across the country, they pushed the resources over there to those hospitals in the front line. They said, here is the ventilators, here is oxygen, here is PPE kits, here is masks, right? We don't have that over here. Over here, in fact, we all saw what Dr. Reddy's tweet from Apollo was, that my oxygen cylinders are not being allowed to leave my state. This is dismissal. It's not you versus, it's not one state versus the other state. It's all of us are one. Right, we are one country.
Exactly right. We can't have states fighting. In Rajasthan, it seems some oxygen trucks are stuck. Somewhere the police is stopping it, Haryana, etc. It's just untenable. Dr. Dwivedi, again, I know you're saying that you don't want to blame anyone, and it's just the situation has just become so enormous so suddenly. However, in this sort of situation, given that it's an emergency, we need an emergency reaction for this. We cannot have people dying, and this is in the national capital. We're not even talking about what's happening in UP, in Gujarat, in Punjab, etc., and the rural parts of the country.
This is the time when the provisions of internal emergency has to be invoked. The internal emergency needs to be, what else can be an internal emergency? This is an internal emergency. Internal emergency needs to be declared. And there has to be one constitutional authority who takes over. The moment that happens, this bickering between different states and different agencies and center and state, everything will settle down, and then there will be a coordinated effort. It is safety of an individual is a part of national security. The national security advisor has to step in.
Yeah, we can't treat lives so cheaply, in this manner of just, people dying because of lack of oxygen outside hospital and inside hospital. Yes, Dr. Sudhanshu, today the High Court came down very heavily on the center, and it said that, enough is enough. Water's gone above the head. We're seeing that people are dying. Are you hopeful now that wheels are moving and you won't be facing an emergency?
I was evolving very slowly, and it might evolve in the next 10 to 15 days, but by the time evolution takes place, a lot of lives would be lost. I think this is the time when an internal emergency needs to be declared and a central authority should take over.
Right, Dr. Sudhanshu, yes, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, if the gentleman would allow me.
Yes, go ahead.
One must understand that we are not talking about policy level out here. We're talking about every molecule of oxygen that we've been chasing. Right now, what actually needs to be done, the question to start with was about the High Court. I was very much in the court proceedings at
Yes.
that point in time, and I had to interject and I had to seek the Honorable Court's intervention in the matter that we were running out of oxygen. And that is how the High Court has taken cognizance of the issue, and it has come down very heavily, and rightly so. But the issue is, it's not a policy thing right now. We needed 700 metric ton of oxygen for Delhi, and we were provided 490, out of which also it never came. Now, our hospital requires 7 metric ton of oxygen on a daily basis. Our allocation, because of the shortage in the shortfall, the gap, our allocation is 4.9 metric ton. No matter what the supply cycle is, the vendors, when they tell us that within 24 hours, they will give us 4.9 metric ton, what happens when we run out? Because in a 24-hour cycle of 4.9 metric ton, 7 metric ton requirement will never get serviced. This is what is happening on ground level. We're talking about internal emergency, we're talking about external emergency, we're talking about 24 days from now, 2 months from now. No, it's not a question of that. The enemy is right here, right, staring us down in our face. We cannot just keep talking about things in the air. We can't be catching oxygen off the air and supplying it to our patients. Somebody needs to supply it. Now people talk about Delhi government having not put up oxygen plants. It cannot be put up overnight. The Delhi government submitted in the court proceedings I've been joining for the past 3 days. Yes. They submitted in the court that since we do not have any oxygen plant out here, and the teams that are supposed to install it, they are actually based in other states, and the other states have given them their own assignments, and they will not allow them to come into Delhi to set up our plants because the states are having a hold on them because the offices are there. Now, I fail to understand that in this situation, if the center will not support us, Delhi government does not have its quota. It did not even have 1 ton of oxygen to give us in the morning hours to pull us through, and we would not have lost out on 12 of our precious patients and Dr. Himtani, who sadly lost his battle to corona, had we received the oxygen in time, but the oxygen is not there in the capital. Why internal emergency? How can that bring oxygen to us? Or external emergency? How can that bring oxygen to us? That is something that I just fail to grasp, as our patients are failing to grasp.
I can absolutely understand your anguish, and I think all of us are anguished here and just want to think of, what can be done to ensure that you doctors and you hospitals can just concentrate on saving lives and not have to run every day, worrying about the oxygen shortage and running to the courts and running to agencies and sending people out. I'm afraid we're completely out of time, but hopefully, I can't agree more, Dr. Dwivedi, that this is an emergency situation. We cannot be losing lives in this manner. We can't be treating Indian lives so cheaply. Thank you all for joining us on the show today.